People view their inheritance as how much their parents love them. Comparing the value of a farm to cash, it's not even apples and oranges, it's apples and elephants.
When it comes to inheritance, fair does not mean equal. We have 3 questions we got to get to. It's 10:35.
Yes.
The first one, do you want to share what it is? The question, I can share it. It's, do you have any expectations for your inheritance from me? Wow. That is super open-ended. Like, wow. Why?
It's why it requires thought.
Yeah.
It's why they need to digest it a bit. But again, the preamble is always, I am not giving you authority, but I care to hear what you think. So that in the absence of that preamble.
But wait a minute. You said you're not giving me authority. Clarify that, because it's like, why are you asking me then? If you're asking me, but I've got no power here, no control, why do I even want to bother, Patty?
I think it's because it is, if you tell me your perspective, perhaps there's a way I can honor it. If it's like critical that you get that 30 acres that all the kids used to go and play in the woods and camp overnight in the 80s, right? All of a sudden, well, yeah, we probably could make that happen. But it can't be known without it knowing. Or if you have particular financial expectations that you're depending upon, regardless of the outcome, it allows the parent to just understand and just say, hey, okay, yes, that's possible. No, that's not possible. Or yeah, that's an absolute consideration. So if it comes from the actual owner, I have a teammate of mine that used to say, people view their inheritance as how much their parents love them. So if that gets a chance to be expressed and can be truthed by the parent while they're still on the right side of the grass, as opposed to trying to interpret it in their absence, it gets ahead of whatever assumptions could have been damaging.
What if your inheritance is a snowblower that actually costs more to fix than it is to buy a new one? Because that's what I got this winter.
Wow, lucky.
Yeah, lucky. I went there and I was like, well, my dad gave it to me. That's how he shows love. I can't really turn it back in. I can't really, But I feel like there's, it's a tough question to ask too, because let's say the farm's worth 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 million bucks.
Yeah.
Well, what are your expectations, son or daughter? As long as it's free, we'll give you the brochure. But it's like, well, I'd like 10 million bucks. I'd like a section of land. Like, oh, well, you know what? Guess the farm can't really afford that, and you haven't been on the,
Yeah.
Wow.
But then again, it's about truthing it. So how do you imagine that will go in your absence? So then the farming child is responsible for communicating that in time of grief. Most often what I would hear from the non-farming siblings, and I mean, this is not everybody, but it's certainly common, is I just want to be, I just want to understand and feel like it's fair amongst my siblings. Again, that fairness is often a strong emotion of some balance there. And I always say that fair is the F word, because again, it's an opinion. But talk about it. Say, and you talk about worth 50 million bucks. It's not a bucket of cash. It has that value.
Not what?
And it has that value. And that actually is a really important part of truthing this as well. These are assets that are tools of a business that the business does not function without. So certainly we would like to have all of our heirs have some level of benefit, but here's why on paper, it will not be matching numbers. Talk that through. And if you're not comfortable to explain it, have some coaching or some support from an advisor to do so, or whatever facilitator could be helpful.
Yeah.
Because it's get ahead of that. Because if I promise you, when they're settling the estate, it will just be numbers on a page, and that doesn't really tell the story.
Well, you had another great question in there, and it was, what do you perceive as fair?
Yeah.
So Donald Larson had a comment here. I just want to unpack. I love the comments and the interaction. This is what these live events are for. Donald Larson said, I have another side of this. In my past, a farmer neighbor passed away young. I was asked to come over and help them understand the will and the finances. I farmed as well and had some financial training. excuse me. He had 3 sons and wife. None knew what was in the will or the finances. The truth is, I found out that the liabilities were double the assets, and that's if they sold the land. They had no idea. What of a bit of a surprise to them. I guess there's all kinds of reasons people wouldn't want to talk about things because not everybody.
Yeah.
There's some secrets out there.
Truly. And so I'm not saying to do damage. I'm not saying to go like a bull in a china shop and like dump it and really like open up this. What I'm saying is, I think these people have feelings about it. They have grown up often in this business. They share the same last name as the corporation. Like there's so many common threads of belonging that they have been told their whole life. And so if they're never invited to that table and asked their opinion, that might be enough. Say, you know what, there isn't going to be a lot. We'll be able to do this functioning business, the farming well, I guess we'll get to the third question because there's 2 more layers yet.
No, we'll get there. Chris Herbert, is saying it's only as valuable as what somebody will pay for it. So yeah, there's market value. There's also the farm's ability to pay it out. Just because there's $10 million in assets doesn't mean that that year it might have the ability to pay you any cash. And maybe that's where you got to talk to the wealth management,
it's the truthing of that. So the way that I say it is that comparing the value of a farm to cash, it's not even apples and oranges, it's apples and elephants. It's not the same. So how can we reveal that and say that at an appropriate level for the need to know basis, but just get ahead of that so that the farming child is not left there to explain it in their absence when it appears that they're the main beneficiary.
Patricia Fink is seconding that point and segueing that point. We also have to remember when it comes to inheritance, fair does not mean equal.
Truly.